Welcome back to the third game of the Friday night futsal season against Lambor Deeney. After a bit of a hefty defeat last week, we were definitely looking to get back to winning ways. And with our star striker Kieran finally back from his rather long stag weekend in Canada, things were looking good. You'd think that the comeback of an extra player would give us the luxury of starting a game with substitutes. But sticking with what is becoming a tradition, there were no subs in sight for today's starting lineup. We're determined to one day get a cameraman for the whole game, but for now we are stuck with the ground view again for kickoff. Soon after kickoff, Wayne's blue jumper was deemed too similar to the opponent's kit for the ref's liking, and he told him to take it off. Soon after that, Sam arrives at the scene and takes control of the camera, just in time to see our still jet-lagged and probably still hungover returnee Kieran on the ball. He plays it back to Harry, whose attempt to break through the great wall of Lambor Deeney fails. The ball is kept in though on the far side and falls to Wayne, who lays it off to Kieran, but his mistimed shot is deflected out for a corner. As he jogs over to take the corner, he demonstrates why we like to call him Ronaldo. The corner magically becomes a throw-in, which Kieran fires straight at the goal, past the keeper, and already Kieran has his first goal, which he rather elaborately celebrates. However, there was a bit of confusion as to whether the goal should be allowed, but Kieran is extremely keen to point out to the ref that the ball touched the keeper's hand on the way through, and so the score should stay 1-0. Anyway, after their wonderfully ambitious kickoff strategy doesn't work, Wallace throws a long ball forwards to their attacking half. It falls to Jimmy, who plays a cheeky ball through to Kieran, and I believe I can fly. And now we see Wallace demonstrating great goalkeeping technique by doing a few chin-ups. And as if things couldn't get much weirder, we then see Kieran propose to Wayne on the middle of the pitch. But sadly for Kieran, it doesn't go too well. So how many is that who've said no now, Kieran? Oh well, chin up mate, plenty more fish in the sea. Let's get back to some more football though, with their keeper playing a ball out wide to their winger, who gives it back. Their keeper nutmegs Kieran to find Mr. Dark Blue Shirt, who gives it out wide, and suddenly the most passionate substitute in futsal history starts screaming. Yes, 10 out of 10 effort from their bench though, top stuff. Soon, and after a 1-2 with Harry, Jimmy, for the first time in his life, shows a bit of skill to get round the defender to lay it off to Kieran, and after a bit of a scrap and 2 blocked shots, we earn ourselves a corner. Unfortunately, the cameraman was still fascinated by their support team and we missed the second goal of the day. He then tries to cover up his mistake by just lying. Did you miss it?
No, I got it.
Oh good. Kick-off. And their winger shows off some tremendous skill to get round a few of our players, but luckily Harry is there to make a tackle. We're back on the attack again now though, as Sam plays the ball to Kieran. The ref gets in the way and Wayne's shot is saved. Unluckily for them, after a brilliant save just 3 seconds earlier, their keeper decides to do this. But well done this man for scoring his hat-trick within the first half. Lambor Deeney try another interesting kick-off tactic, but that doesn't work either as the ref catches the winger sitting by the goalposts and brings him back. So on to plan C of just shooting straight from the kick-off. After that also fails, Greg decides to show his face, and for the first time ever, we have 2 substitutes. After arriving, Greg immediately gets intimidated by their attack force after watching this throw-in. And at the other end, a slight fumble results in Sam getting the ball and giving it to Kieran. He decides to share the glory this time as he lays it off to Wayne to make it 4-0. Sadly, we miss the next kickoff, and instead we see the ref get in the way as Kieran plays the ball back to Harry, who, just like last week, decides to lay it off to our opponents. Luckily they fail to counter though as Wayne intercepts their pass and goes for a long range shot, which is saved by the keeper. Their goalkeeper then thinks he's a striker as he tries to run up the pitch. He only gets as far as Kieran, who plays it back to Sam, who surely can't miss an open net. That's a throw-in. Sam does manage to redeem himself though, after a good ball in from Wayne leaves him an easy finish to make it 5-0. A pretty normal kick-off this time, and Greg is subbed on to play. He gets caught in possession here and the clearance goes out to Harry. He has all the time in the world, but just cue R. Kelly. I believe I can fly. Oh my goodness, oh my god. After that, Kieran comes off for Jimmy and gives a quick interview.
How are we feeling, mate?
Playing awesome, man.
Yeah, couldn't be better.
Yeah.
This is our season for sure.
Our season, eh? Yeah! Anyway, back to today's game. And super sub Greg picks up the ball in a good position and does well to find the back of the net to make it 6-0. And with that comes half time. As always, there's a team talk, but for some reason the ref comes over to inform Greg that his goal did not count and so the score stays 5-0. Anyway, it's time to meet our official cameraman.
Who do you go for?
I'm going for Greg.
Greg?
Yeah.
What team does he play for?
I don't really know.
Oh.
Kick off. And before Greg's girlfriend has a chance to grab the camera, Kieran runs off with it for a cheeky interview with the opposition.
Yeah, what are your thoughts of the game? Boys, thoughts of the game?
We're doing pretty shit. No, it's only PG.
What is this? What is this?
It's like 10-0.
10-0?
Nah, we'll come back. We'll come
You gonna come back?
Yeah. This is a big second half.
Give us the final score. Give us the final score.
I'll say 6-5.
6-5.
I get tired and I'll be like, we'll score about 10. I don't know, maybe 10.
10. All right. We'll make it there.
Sadly, he drags the interview on for so long, we miss Greg's finish to make it 6-0. Oh well, at least we got to see their reaction. Kick off. Oh, Sam scored. Kick off again. And Greg seems especially keen to impress now that his girlfriend is the cameraman. He takes on pretty much their whole team before laying it off to Sam, who manages to send it over the bar from just 4 yards away. Not long after, a throw-in is taken back to their keeper, who goes for a very long-range shot. But it's safe hands from Wallace, who makes a great save. Here, Greg gives it to Jimmy, who plays it back to Wallace, who then takes Jimmy out by firing straight at his bollocks. They win a free kick from that cock-up, which is taken short, and a slightly fluffed shot means that Kieran has time to run forwards. But he shoots from the halfway line instead, and it goes well wide. Greg is on the attack again, but is caught in possession, and Mr. Blue and Orange plays a nice 1-2 with Harry, and is through on goal. The ref gets in the way, but the shot goes wide. From there, Wallace plays a long ball forwards and eventually finds Kieran, who also decides to send it over the bar from 4 yards out. There's more possession now as Greg trips himself up, playing a ball through to Kieran, which he slots home for 8-0. Kick off. And soon, Wallace finds Wayne, who goes for a neat little run before playing it into Kieran, who manages to hit the post from about 4 inches away. Oh well, it's not long before Greg picks up the ball and has loads of time to finish. Oh well, he soon kind of redeems himself after assisting Kieran in what turns out to be a pretty scrappy finish. But a goal is a goal, and there's more twinkle toe stuff from Greg as he gets around 2 players before passing it back to Harry, whose shot is picked up by the keeper. For some reason, their keeper then decides to throw it out of bounds. After the throw-in is played to Greg, he charges forwards and slots home properly this time to make it double figures. Kick off. And Sam finds himself with all the time in the world, but for some reason he decides to shoot from miles away and it goes wide. Oh well, he soon finds himself on the ball again and gives it to Kieran. After some good passing with Greg, Kieran makes it 11 in what is probably our best worked goal of the season. After yet another kick-off, one of their players gives up and decides to take a seat for the rest of the game. And with that comes the final whistle. It was a solid win for us today, and with just 2 group games left before the knockout stages, we are hoping it will put us in a good position for the rest of the season. Next week we face off against 2 goals, 1 cup, so tune in then, leave a like for the boys, and I'll see you next time.